Hey everybody, and Happy New Year! I just wanted to take a quick minute and say thank you, all of you, for being so supportive and helpful and dedicated. And thank you, Crystal and Robert Radio Show, for just helping me out with a website, with the members only, and have just set up a shop for Lost Battlefield merchandising, and it's gonna be a great year. And I wanted to tell you a little bit of what you can expect coming up in this year, because it's always bigger than just the next episode. Of course, we're always going to try to figure out what General Kamla did and what happened to him. And I'm talking to the family, I'm talking to Fibinga's family, beating the drums on the archives, and it will eventually going to have to turn into a lawyer and the CIA, because they're sitting on information. They admitted they're sitting on it, and well, we got to get them to give it up. Also, hopefully, I can get to go to the Russian archive sooner than later, because I know they're sitting on a lot of the secrets we really want. And it's not just about what the Nazis were doing, it's also about just the battlefield explorations and the great forts. And I have a lot of forts coming to you, a lot of World War I, World War II forts, battlefields, some strange tunnels, surprise. This year I have to go out to the BIG and have a talk with them about see if they can let us into one of Kamla's other tunnels in Killabau. So there's a lot of stuff to look forward to. Norway, the Channel Islands, France, we have to drain the blockhouse. Hopefully we can get a GPR drone flying over Jonastal. A lot of stuff that's going on that I'm working with other historians on. We're all trying to get together, and it all boils down to what can we do for the money we have. And next couple episodes, there's some stuff I want to show you that is hidden from the mainstream map of Doha Mittelbau with Nordhausen and the Central Works, where they built all the V1 rockets and V2 rockets. Of course, Kamla was in charge, and there's more tunnels than the ones they like to show you on the map. I actually found one of them. It was blown up, don't get your hopes up. We're gonna go to, there's some really amazing forts, and there's just some amazing visuals that we see. Hopefully we can get to see some of the Swiss forts as well. There's, like I said, a lot of Norway. A lot of time, I think the next trip will be coming into Czechia, Poland. There'll be a lot of stuff in Poland, a little bit of crossing over Germany, quite a bit in France again. I'm not quite done with some of the V1, V2 sites because they're interesting. And there's some more bunkers that was some question marks about their usage, which is always interesting. There's also some more tunnels that should have been built, or at least construction started, that Kamla said in the works in 45, February, March. It's a little unclear what happened to them, so we're going to have a look at it as well. And I want to thank you all. I want to let you know all the memberships that have joined up with Lost Battlefields. I'm trying to keep it up to date. All the documents, all the photos, all the files, all the research, I'm putting it up in what is becoming a quite long page on Lost Battlefields. So everything I find, I share with you guys. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Everything takes time. I'm working away on some of the specifics and renaming some files, making it a little easier. But everything I'm basing my research on, it's all available to you, so you can see where I get my information, and at least most of it. We're also looking forward to a trip to Argentina. And all of it comes from the memberships, from the YouTube revenue that is an up and down thing. It comes from donations from my Patreon, and I want to thank you all for that. And one thing I really do need you guys to do, I need 400 members to join my road with Tino Struckmann. It's cars, food, motorcycles, cool stuff, silly stuff, bike shows, car shows, strange foods, history of food. Not World War II. However, if I can get the other channel going, I can move my movies over there, and we can monetize that. Being a new channel, because of the algorithm, it has a higher impact. So, but I can't monetize until I have over 1,000 people there. So I really need you guys to join my road with Tino Struckmann. I'll put the link in the bottom here, and it really doesn't matter if you don't give a darn about motorcycles or cars, although I cannot possibly believe that you would not. seeing how cool that is for mindless entertainment visually. Anyway, I do need you to do that. Help me out a little bit so we can get that channel going. Because all that revenue will go straight into Lost Battlefields. Everything, memberships, all of it goes into a travel account. And also got to figure out what we will be paying the fire department out of the France and blockhouse for draining the water out of that. That'll be interesting. And the GPR drone it's a $3,000-4,000 euro investment to get that to fly over. So there's it's for us to move to the next step with the research we're trying to do. We'll need to spend some money. And oddly enough, none of us historians going through all these places seems to be millionaires. Who'd have thought you do not become rich from studying and writing and talking about military history? But it's so much more important than that, and you know that it is so much more important that the future generations will have these places to see, because some of them will probably collapse in my lifetime, possibly with me inside them. Well, you know, if I disappear all of a sudden, either some agency did it, the UFOs did it, or I found Kamala's ride to Aldebaran. Anyway, more interviews coming up, of course. More research coming up. The book will come out. It's all just about time. I'm also working my full-time job, so I can make sure that I get to save us much together. So sometimes it gets a little tight, and sometimes it gets a little hard to be on the chat all the time. And I am so sorry I'm not getting to the emails. I'm a horrible person at getting to my emails. Not because I don't want to. It truly pains me every day. I see them build up in my inbox and my folders. But sometimes I just have to put them aside and turn my phone off. My phone's actually hardly ever on. So I can just focus on the research for the episodes I'm bringing to you. I'm taking it serious and I want to try to do a good job so we can go through interesting places and talk about what happened to them, as much information as we can, and it all takes time. We're also going to go to the Externsteiner and see why Himmler was there and what Himmler was really looking for with the Ennernabbe and at the Externsteiner. And that's not exactly what you thought. I have been working on a theory with one of my friends out there, and you may be surprised, but we think there's more to the Ennernabbe and to Himmler than we thought. And hopefully this year I can get finished up with the Goering's, the young years, go back to Himmler's the next step, Goebbels, get all the personalities. Now I went to their houses, most of them, what's left of them, and so I can bring them to you as well. But there's some interesting research coming up and some interesting places. And of course, I'm going to do a nice episode. It's about time we break down the money and the business behind World War II. Who actually invested all this money in Germany, and where did the money go? And where did all of these tons of gold end up? And these billions of what turns into dollars disappear to at the end of the war. So I'm going to do a dedicated episode about that. I'm waiting for the last files, a little bit of research I need to do to actually sort of break that down so it's clear. And I want to make it clear so we can all sort of look at this and go like, have a clear overview of each episode of what exactly happened and how. Anyway, Happy New Year, and I will see you soon in a couple of days. Next episode's coming up. Everything's also lined up on the website so you can sort of get an idea of what is cataloged and what episode came up in what order, because I know some of you have been asking about them. And I just wanted to, again, thank you all for watching, and all the new guys and girls, welcome. One thing I would love you guys to do for the website is, you all have interesting things you found, artifacts, you have locations in your backyard or in the city next to you, places I haven't seen. If you want to do videos or send us photos for the website of some of the places that you want to share that I can share with everyone else, I would love to have a couple of pages on the website specifically for your stories and your locations. and I'm hoping Robert will also help me sort through that and put them on the website. He's doing the websites as well, and some of the newsletters. And I don't know how I could do all of it without him. And remember, the whole intention of this is turning Lost Battlefields into a non-profit, taking proper donations, so we can actually help those people restoring these places. And maybe we can buy a little bunker of our own. Some of the east wall is bunkers are for sale. Some of the ones in Czechia is for sale. I'm sure we can get a little Maginot Line for it if we fork out enough money. I'm also doing a documentary series on the west wall, because there's so much you don't know about the west wall. Probably because they first 20,000 bunkers they destroyed, and a few more of Hitler's headquarters. I'm waiting for the Germans, see if they will give me permission to go into the tunnels behind some of them. There are still more tunnels behind some of Hitler's bunkers, and you of course know the German version of BIG sitting on those. I'm sending them flowers, candies, smiley faces, and I'm sure they'll let us in because we're just great people, and because of you. Have a nice time, have a nice weekend, have a nice year, get something to eat, pet a dog, say hi to your mom, women and children, lifeboats first. You know the drill.